In the wake of the recent tragic attack on Republican members of Congress at a baseball field in Virginia, this story couldn't be more timely. Staff and faculty of Southeastern University in Lakeland, Florida, are being trained by the Polk County Sheriff's Office to carry a concealed firearm on campus. It's a team effort called the Sentinel Program, aimed at putting campus security ahead of politics, and it's the first of its kind in the country. Although carrying a gun on campus is against state law, Sheriff Judd told me he will swear in the trained staff as special deputies, giving them the authority when every second counts to stop an active assailant on campus. Take a look.
I'm not going to settle my hands here in this office while people die if I can prevent it with special deputy sheriffs, instructors, and staff that are highly trained and ready to save lives.
The #1 question asked by parents when visiting our university was about safety. Every year, every time, what are you doing to keep our students safe when they come? You take those questions mixed with the newsreels that keep coming in of the senseless violence. This was a no-brainer for us. Our motto is students first.
It's that personal care for our students. You know, I hear the argument, well, if you really love our children, you'll remove guns. But I say, if you really love our children, you're not going to reason with these individuals who choose to go down this pathway of destruction. They have a gun. The only way you're going to stop them is with a gun.
We call this the Sentinel Program because they're the watchmen. They're on point, called to service, willing to lay their life down to protect the students.
Come out, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
It's intense, it's rigorous. The simulations that you go through really drive it home. This is real. This is a split-second decision.
With our Sentinels, they will be sworn in as special deputy sheriffs. We have made them take more hours of firearms training. We're also making them score a 5% higher score than the state requirements. So when I put these Sentinels as special deputy sheriffs out, they have more training and have shown a higher proficiency than the state requires of law enforcement officers in the state of Florida.
Most definitely. I believe that the Sentinel program itself will act as another layer of security. We do have 2 sheriffs on campus, but they could be on the other side of campus when an event happens, and they might be 1 or 2 minutes away.
Active shooter is in the classroom.
We know active shooters are out there. We know there are terrorists or terrorist sympathizers.
It's basically a new norm for us, and it's unfortunate, but no place is safe.
We've studied them. We've looked at the timeline. The active shooter normally has engaged and finished his disaster in less than 5 minutes. We know the average police response is going to be plus 5 minutes. We can never, ever, ever arrive in time.
Every second counts. Within 5 seconds, you could have 6 to 7 casualties and possibly 3 to 4 deaths out of those casualties. And the faster somebody gets there to stop the threat, the faster we can save lives.
Students will not know, no one will know who is a Sentinel and where they're located on our campus. We are the first line of defense and the first responders.
Our Sentinels that will be located all over this campus would be able to carry a concealed arm and be ready at a moment's notice should an active assailant come on campus. And so if you're going to come and think you're going to create shock and awe, we're going to create shock and awe back.
When we armed them as special deputy sheriffs, we're not giving them the authority to be the police on the campus. They don't have that authority. That authority is scoped to deal with the active assailant and the active shooter on the campus. That's all.
What do you say to those people say, oh, he's trying to go around the law, he's circumventing the law?
I'm not skirting any law. And the one that does that, that's white noise. And they don't know a lick about keeping people safe. We're complying with the law exactly because I've used my authority that I'm granted from the people of this county in Florida, according to state law, as the sheriff. I can appoint special deputy sheriffs after very intensive training. So the talkers need to get over it. We're going to protect lives and keep people safe and use the best trained people.
We can't isolate ourselves and live in a bubble, if you will, and that's just not the real world. But it baffles me because we were the only school out of all of those schools represented that said, let's do this.
So does it concern you politics getting in the way of security too often?
Obviously it does, but that's politics. You know what? We can't, in a decision like this, lean to politics. We have to lean what is absolute for our students.
Listen to me clearly. You're a moron if you post a sign and say it's a gun-free zone. Does that make you feel good? You've just told the criminals with guns that, hey, all the law-abiding citizens aren't going to have a gun here, and you're inviting the active shooter to that location.
You'll find in our community that all of us, we don't look at this as just a job, but we almost look at it like a calling. We use a phrase around here, we help them discover their divine design. So for us, we want to personally demonstrate we believe in you so much that we're going to take every precaution we can to make you safe as you learn and make a difference in this world.
Southeastern recognizes after the event occurs, we can correct the weaknesses, but we've lost lives. And we can sleep better at night, all of us, knowing that we're doing everything we can on the front end.
I know in our hearts that the more folks on campus that are vetted through rigorous research, background checks, trained in responding to a critical situation, responding to an active assailant, reduces the amount of casualties, takes out the threat, and ensures that more lives are saved than lost.
And what's not to like about that if you're a parent?
It's an extension of the law enforcement family and them being a part of our mission. If I were a parent and I had a child going to Southeastern University, I would be excited because I know that campus would be safer than ever.
My message to the other schools is, why not? There's nothing more important in the entire world than our children. And we're there to stand in the gap between good and evil.